I was 7 years old, and I lived in the south side of Chicago in a very diverse working class neighborhood where we had Latinos, blacks, Asians, all living together on the same street. And my best friend at that time was Carson Baker, and he was 5 years old, and he was a young black boy, and he became really good friends because I remember one time he actually just showed up at the door and just knocked on the door, and he could smell my mom's cooking. He's like, "Hi, I'm your neighbor from 2 houses down. I smelt your cooking from outside. Can I see what you're cooking?" And ever since then, we began playing with one another. And we would bike down to the corner of the block where there was this fire hydrant. We would pretend that the fire hydrant was a gas pump. And so we'd be riding in circles and be like, "Oh, I'll be back. I have to go fill her up," So we'd bike down to the corner and pretend to fill up like our big wheels with gas. And all of a sudden, as we were biking around, all I remember was hearing this loud screech, and it was this yellow station wagon. And before I could really understand what was happening, I remember seeing Carson's body literally flip over the car and land on the grass, just a few meters away from us. And so I remember standing in front of his body and Mr. Baker kind of coming in his police uniform and realizing that it was his son. And the first thing he did was he picked me and my brother up in his arms and he just screamed. And it was a silent scream. It was a scream, but it was a raging shriek, but it was silent. There wasn't a sound that came out of his voice or his mouth, but it was a very internal rumble that I felt because we were so close to him. What helped me understand the value of not just Carson's life and all life was actually going to his funeral. All you could hear was music. It was the gospel singers. The gospel singers' voices were flooding out the front doors. And with it, at an early age, I felt that energy that it had. And I'll never forget that. And that's something that's changed my life at an early age. Most people would think that at 7 years old, an experience like that might really mess you up. And I can understand why. But I think it's because the community I was a part of and the people I was a part of really helped me understand that it wasn't something to be afraid of. It's something it's a door that we all have to knock on one day. But it's something that we have to be very conscious about. Are we ready for that?